Hi everybody, my name is Rupa, working as assistant professor in Chevron Engineering College in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Today we are dealing the subject renewable energy sources. In the topic is advantages and disadvantages of WECS system, wind energy conversion systems. So first we will see the advantages. Okay, so first advantage, it is a renewable source of energy. So it is a renewable source of energy, no need of any expenditure, putting any expenditure on the fuel. It is a renewable energy. Next, it is non-polluting. No pollution is released from the wind turbines. Non-polluting, like if you take other forms of solar energy, this is also a non-polluting one. So like all forms of solar energy, wind power systems are also non-polluting. So this has no any adverse influence on the environment. And third one is wind energy systems. It avoids the fuel provision and transport. Okay, so no digging of oil and no tracking of any sun's tracking like that. Whatever the place it is situated, it can go. We can continue the work from that place itself. Okay, and no transportation is also required, no fuel transportation is also required. At whatever places they are situated wind turbines or windmills, we can work from at that places without moving or some arrangements. And fourth one is it is less costly. Up to if you take in small scale, up to few kilowatt systems, it is less cost. And when coming to the large scale, cost can be competitive with conventional electricity. And suppose if you want to produce a mass production, if you achieve mass production, then we can lower the cost to some extent. Okay, so these are the advantages of WES. And coming to the disadvantages of wind energy. So this is a dilute and it is not purely, and it is a dilute one, and it is fluctuating in nature. So this is the most important disadvantages why the wind energy, windmills and wind energy is not utilized up to its power. Okay, so this is the main advantage. What is the disadvantage? Sorry, disadvantage is the fluctuating in nature. Fluctuating means the speed will not be in constant manner to apply to the direct applying to the applications what we are using. So we have to convert this speed of the wind into some by using some apparatus voltage. We have to maintain the speed constant, and we have to supply to the appliances. Okay, so for this we have to invest some extra cost for this windmills, and we have to manage that the speed should be constant. We have to monitor always the speed should be constant. Okay, so this is available in dilute and fluctuating in nature. This is the main and first disadvantage. Second one, unlike water energy, this wind energy is to be stored. Okay, so this water we can get surplus, and we know how much amount of water we are getting. But in this case, we don't know the future capacity of the wind. Okay, so how much the wind it will be tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or at the next point we cannot calculate the amount of wind it will be available. Okay, so it needs some storage. Okay, and this storage also be needed because it is coming irregularly. It is not coming in a constant way, so that we can calculate the value of wind at that time also. So it's need a storage. So This is also considered as one of the main disadvantage, which throws it away, rather beside the solar energy. Okay, so solar energy is becoming more popular and wind energy is not becoming more popular because of these disadvantages only. Next, third one is, these wind energy systems are noisy in operations. A large unit, if you situate a large unit, it can be heard many kilometers away also. Okay. Next, fourth one is about the overall height. The wind power systems have relatively high overall weights because in the construction these involve a high tower. Okay, so first weight conservation is done. So for this weight, the main weighted object is in the windmills is a tower. So at the high altitudes we can get high winds, high speed winds. So for reaching these high altitudes we have to build a high tower, base of the windmill. So this tower will be as high as possible we can go. Okay, so in the construction has first one high tower, and it also had gearbox in it. Okay, gearbox for rotating the windmills and a hub and pitch changer. Okay, so the wind was speed changer and generator coupling shaft. So this will be connected to the generator. This windmill will be connected to the generator, right? So as the prime movers are connected to the generators through a shaft, in this also the prime mover is our windmill. So this windmill also need to be connected to the generator shaft. So generator coupling shaft will also be included in this construction. So overall the weight increases. If you compare a large system, it is up to a weight of 110 kgs per kilowatts rated. It is estimated. So for large systems, the weight is 110 kgs per kilowatt. Okay, so these are gearbox, pitch changer and generating coupling shaft, and mainly tower includes large weights. So this is one of the disadvantage for transportation or for security purpose or for maintenance purpose. And fifth one is, we need large areas. Okay, so if you take a propeller, it is about 1 to 3 meters in diameter and it delivers a power of 30 to 300 watts range. Okay, so this propeller needs nearly large areas. And last one, sixth one is, maintenance is a big problem. So present systems are neither maintenance free nor practically reliable. Okay, so the fact that highly reliable propeller engines are built for aircraft suggests, because the present troubles can be overcome by the industrial development work. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of the WECS system, energy systems. Next one. So now we will see the wind energy collectors. Okay, so first we will see what is a wind energy collector. So this is nothing but a windmill. Okay, we know that a windmill is a machine. It is a machine for wind energy conversion. So the wind energy is converted into appropriate uses what we connect it to the application. Okay, so a windmill is a machine for wind energy conversions. A wind energy in this windmill, it converts the kinetic energy of the wind motion to mechanical energy transmitted by the shaft. Okay, so this mechanical energy which is converted by the wind turbine is mechanically shafted to the applications. So it is the energy, total energy conversion is transmitted by the shaft only. Suppose if this transmitter is connected to a generator shaft, further the generator converts it into electrical energy. So thereby we will get electricity. So the term windmill, which is originally implied a mill for grinding grains. Actually, the name comes from a mill of grinding grains because it is an obvious application where electric power generation is done. This term we are using recently also. So aero generators, suppose if you take this aero generators, this avoids the difficulty of before disadvantages. So suppose if you take only in the last century we have windmills. So these windmills we are using for generating electrical power. Suppose if you take aero generators or wind turbines, these are classified into some basic types. So actually, according to the general classification, these are of two types. First one is horizontal axis type and second one is vertical axis type. So these are classified depending upon their axis of rotation. So if it is horizontal axis of rotation, it is called horizontal axis type. If it is vertical axis rotation, it is vertical axis type. So this is depending upon the axis of rotation relative to the wind streams. And in before types, we have discussed the WECS system. The rotors oriented normal to the direction of wind are classified, and later if you discuss in this, these are classified according to the effective surface of the rotor movement. Okay, if you take horizontal axis wind turbines, these are further subclassified as first one is single bladed, second one is multi bladed, and third one is bicycle multi blade type. Okay, so if you what are the number of blades we are using in this type? Again, these are subclassified. Examples are sail, wind, multi-bladed are examples of horizontal axis wind machines. Okay, so coming to the vertical axis windmills, these are again divided into subtypes, and in these subtypes, the major subtypes are two types. Savonus or S-type rotor mills. These have very low velocity wind. And second type is Darius type rotor mills. These are of high velocity winds. These are having high and S type is having low. Okay, so based on the working speed of the machine and velocity ranges, we are using these two types of windmills. So depending upon the application, whether we need low or high velocity winds, we are selecting this vertical type axis. Okay, so basically vertical axis machines are simple to design when compared to horizontal axis type. Okay, so we will go deep into these types, axis types further. So first we will deal about the horizontal axis type. So this is the first main main classification done depending upon the axis of rotation relative to the wind stream. So first one is horizontal axis machines. So in this, the common wind turbine is taken. It is taken with a horizontal axis. It is simple in principle, but the design of complete system, especially if you go for a large one, which produces electrical power, is complex. Okay, up to small power producers, this will be easy, simpler, and if you go for large ones, it will be a complex design. These because these have some components, individual components should be assembled. Suppose if you take the individual components such as rotor, transmission, generator and tower, these should be as efficient as possible. And if you combine all this, that means if you go to if you make this all them work together, that is assembled. If all the separate individual components such as rotor, transmission, generator, gearbox, these are uh, coupled to each other, and when once they are used, they should be effectively worked. That means the combination should effectively work. The what is that coupling? If you take this, suppose if you see this diagram, if you take this windmill, tailwind, wind, rotors, these are the different parts and these are assembled here. Okay, so this working function of this assembled part should be effective one, because there should be some supporting operations. Okay, so the working of this, all the equipments worked together should be effective. Okay, so there should be effective operation in this combination. So some, if you discuss some, we will go through the some of the design considerations later. Now we will see the types of horizontal axis type wind turbines. Okay, in that first one is horizontal axis using two aerodynamic blades. Okay, we can see here two aerodynamic blades, 1 and 2. These are two blades. This is called profile. This is two blades. This is containing two blades. In this type of design, rotor drives a generator through a step-up gearbox. Okay, so gearbox is there. This is of type step-up. Rotor drives a generator. So rotor is coupled to the generator through a step-up gearbox. The blade of the rotor, it is usually designed to orient downwind of the tower. Okay, so actually the design means downwind means it is totally located downwards towards the tower, not upwards. Okay, so in order to keep the strength of the tower or windmill, we are seeking these designs. These components are mounted on a bed plate. Okay, bed plate which is attached on a pintle at the top of the tower. This is the bed plate. And these rotor blades are continuously flexed by unsteady aerodynamic gravitational inertia loads when the machine is in operation. So these are all affected by the blades. What are these? Unsteady aerodynamic nature, gravitational load and inertia loads. These are all affected on the rotor blades or implied on the rotor blades. Suppose if you take these rotor blades which are made up of metal or some flexible materials, it reduces their fatigue life. And this tower is also subjected to above loads which cause serious damage. If the vibrational modes of the rotor is coincided with any one of the natural mode of vibration of the tower, the total system may shake itself into pieces. Okay, so this should not be done. The matching of the vibration modes and the vibration modes of the rotor and actual mode of vibration of the tower, these two vibrations should not be matched. If they are matched because of the vibrations, they will get broken. So the tower will be broken and the windmill will be falling down. So because of the high cost of blade rotors with more than 2 blades, this is not recommended. 3 or 4 also we can take, but due to the high cost, we are stopping this effort. Rotors with more than 2, or suppose if you take 2 or 3 or 4 blades, it will have slightly higher power coefficient. Okay, so rather than the cost wise, if you go for expensive type, we can go for 3 or 4 or more blades, which increases the power coefficients. This is the first type of horizontal axis type windmill with 2 rotor blades. This is the wind flowing here. Rotor will be rotating like this. This is the windmill head, and this is the tailwind, which counter weights the rotor blades. So this will be in balanced manner like this on a large tower. This is the large tower. And second type, this is a horizontal axis propeller type using single blade only. See here, only single blade you can see here. This is one blade. Okay, so coming to this, in this arrangement, a long blade is mounted on a hub, rigid hub. This is called a hub. So a long blade is mounted on a rigid hub. Induction generators and gearbox are also shown here. We can see here, see induction generator and planetary gearbox. This is the induction generator and planetary gearbox position. So if you take extremely long blades, say about 60 meters, these long blades are mounted on a rigid hub, and large blade root bending moments are occurring due to tower shadow here, and due to also tower shadow, due to tower shadow and gravity and sudden shifts in the wind direction. Okay, so this bending moment should be avoided. So to reduce the lower cost, the use of low cost counterweight is recommended, which balances the long blade here centrifugally. Okay, so if you want to reduce the rotor cost, a counterweight should be recommended, because it balances the long blade here. So if you see the advantages and disadvantages in this, first one, advantages of one blade or using only one blade rotor. First one is simpler blade controls. We can control the blade simply. What are the blade controls? First one is lower blade weight and cost, and second one is lower gearbox cost. Okay. Next, second one. What is the second advantage? Is counterweight cost less than the second blade. So if you opt for the second blade, it is expensive. So if you increase the blade number, the cost will be increasing. And if you take only one single blade, and if you put counterweight in the place of second blade, the cost will be reduced. Third one, counterweight is inclined to reduce the blade coning. Okay, so in order to reduce the blade coning, that is the blade coning shape, you are having a blade in the cone shapes. Okay, so if you want to remove the disadvantage of this, we have to put a counterweight inclined, which is inclined in the shape, blade cone shape. Okay, next, pitch bearings do not carry any centrifugal force. Okay, centrifugal force are not carried by the pitch blades. And blade root spare can be large diameter, that is more rugged. Okay, so root spare means this is the root of the blade, which is taken in large diameters, which is most rugged, means it is it will not be splitted into pieces with the vibrations. It is more rugged, it is strong like that. And we will see the disadvantages now. First one is, due to the aerodynamic torques, vibrations can be produced in this. And second one is unconventional appearance. Because of using single blade, it is shown to be some incomplete constructions. Third one is large blade root bending moment. Okay, so the blade root will be bending to a large extent, which damages frequently. And starting torque is reduced by the ground boundary layer. For this, starting torques will be reduced. And fifth one per revolution spheroid torque is produced due to flapping. Okay, so due to flapping means due to the we are using only rotor blade, and while at starting and stopping, the rotor blade will be experiencing a flapping torque, that is Coriolis torque means flapping torque, that is unconditional torque it is. So due to the moment of bending and while at the moment of coming in the opposite direction of the blade, there will be a flapping nature. This is called as flapping nature. So due to this flapping nature, this type of unconditional torque will be coming. So this is not used by our applications. Next type is horizontal axis multi-blade type. Okay, so this is the horizontal axis only, but you are using multi-blades. So we can see here in the figure, number of blades are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 blades are used here. Okay, so this type of design we can see multi-blade. These multi-blades are made from sheet metal or some aluminum. These rotors have high strength to weight ratios, and these can be known to service hours of these can operate at the service hours of freewheeling operation in 60 kilometers per hour winds. Okay, so these operate efficiently at speed of 60 kilometers per hour wind speeds. These have good power coefficient, and high starting torque can be attainable in this type of design. And one of the more added advantage in this type is it can be simple. It is simple and it is of very low cost. This is horizontal axis plus multi-blade type propeller. Next, fourth one. Fourth type is horizontal axis windmill Dutch type. This is the one of the oldest designs we can see in olden days. Okay, so this is the oldest design. The blade surfaces here, what we see here, we are having four blades. The blade surfaces here are made of array of wood slats. So we can see the array of wood slats here. Okay, so these give high power, high wind speeds. These array of wood slats gives high wind speeds. This is the oldest type. Next, last one. This is sail type. So here we can see the blades 8 here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again 8 blades we can see here. It is one of the recent origin. Okay, so one of the recent origin, it is sail type. In this, the blade surface is made from cloth or nylon or plastics. These plastics are arranged as mast and pole, or it is in the form of sail wings. Okay, so there here we can use number of sails we want. There will be variation in number of sails we use depending upon the applications. So these horizontal axis type machines are having better performances, but in the expensive way, these are in the cost way, these are expensive. These horizontal axis type machines we can use in various applications, but the two major areas where these are mostly used are electric power generation and pumping waters. Okay, in these two applications we are mostly using this horizontal axis type. Okay, in the pumping water, if you use this application of pumping water, it has some complexities. It has some complexities in the designs, because mechanical energy has to be transmitted over a distance, some distance the mechanical energy has to be transmitted. And in some cases also the rotor motion has to be converted to reciprocating motions also. So this is somewhat complex. So these are all the types of horizontal axis type, and now we will see the design considerations, how these blades are designed, to what wind speeds they are designed, and what is the other disadvantages and advantages in this design we will go through. So design considerations of horizontal axis machine. This is a common wind turbine we know, horizontal axis machine. So it is a common wind turbine. Almost all the wind turbines we see are of horizontal axis type only, because it is simple in principle, but somewhat the design is complex. It is only the disadvantage. If you go for large one, the design will be complex. For electrical power, first one, if you see the rotor, how will the rotor will be designed? If you see, it has firstly the rotor has number of blades. These blades can be formed from wood or metal or some composites of several materials, which are including glass, reinforced plastics such as. Okay, so further in recent days we use blades made up of carbon fiber. because these have light weight and these are flexible, and strength is also more. In this type of machine, the rotor is mounted on a horizontal or near horizontal shaft, and this is connected to the generator, or it is connected to some mechanical device such as water pump or heat generator. This whole assemble part, what we are assembling, the whole assembly is mounted on a tower, so that if you mounted it on the tower only, it turns clear of the ground and away from the surface drag. Okay, so it can be turned away from the surface drag, and interference also there will not be there. From the, if you take from the performance point of view, the taller the tower, the better we will get the power, because the wind speeds increases with the heights. Okay, so if you build a large tower, we can get more efficient power. If the size of the tower is decreased, the wind speed will also be decreased and we cannot go up to the extents. So many turbine designs have been built over the years. Up to now, many designs are built. These includes machines with a single or multiple blades or multiple rotors, and turbines with two or more sets of counter-rotating blades on the same shaft. Like this, many designs have come out. Rotors. The rotors of these wind axis machines are constructed with cups, paddles, or sails rigid to the rigid wooden spars. Okay, so these sails are connected to the wooden spares. In the olden days, in the early type windmills, what we have seen in the horizontal axis windmill Dutch type. So this rotor, it can be mounted upwind or downwind of the support tower. Upwind or downwind. These rotors can be either lift or drag devices. If you take lift devices, these are generally performed because for a given swept area, high rotational speeds and more output power is developed by the lift force. When compared to the drag force, these can be preferred. Lift force can be preferred when compared to the drag ones. In general, because in general, drag device cannot move faster than the wind velocity. If you compare the wind velocity and the drag device moves more slowly than the wind velocity. But if you take this lift device, it can go beyond the wind velocities. So thus a lifting surface, this can obtain higher torque to wind speeds. If you obtain higher torque to wind speeds, consequently we can obtain high power output to weight ratios. And for many applications, a lower cost to the power output ratio can be obtained.